about writing the book and having 60 days, because you said that's a different, you announce, I'm going to do this in 60 days. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many people who want to write a book.
Well, my first book, there's my
You've
reverse shoulder.
okay, yeah,
The Magic of Newsletter Marketing took 18 months. And in reality, in full disclosure, I share this whenever I speak. I wrote the book in about 9 months, but it took me about another 9 months to get the courage to publish it. Now, in 2009, there was no print on demand like today. It's almost like you can start a business today, like with almost no money down, virtual website, business cards for free. I mean, it's ridiculous. In 2009, I had to place an order for 3,000 books. So it was like, it was a big commitment. So I wanted to make sure the book was correct. It was just ridiculous because, again, the what ifs were kicking in. And then I heard the speaker say, my imperfect book is selling and getting me clients and helping people while your perfect book is still in your word processor. I was in a room about 2,000 people, and I swear he was talking to me. So I published my book. And the next one only took about 7 months, but the last 4 books that I wrote were written and published in 60 days because I decided, Lauren, that I was okay. If there's a missing comma, it's not the end of the world. I choose to be judged on the value of the information and content and good ideas that I'm sharing, and not the imperfect way in which I share it. That's kind of the mantra I live by.
So many people that they feel like they're not doing what they're called here to do. They have this sense like they're not living in joy, they're not happy, they're not fulfilled. How do you help them get clear on what it is they want to do? And then they're scared, oh, I can't do that. So how do you help them get clear? And
well, there's an expression, perfectionism or perfectionist is a label you wear so it doesn't have to be your fault. In other words, what holds most people back from kind of pulling the trigger, launching, writing, publishing, whatever, is I'm afraid of what people will say if it's not perfect. Oh, I'm a perfectionist. I'll put it out someday. Well, therefore they never have to face the onslaught. And believe me, there's no onslaught. I've had people reach out through email like, "Oh, Jim, just thought you'd want to know on page 137, you misspelled this." I'm like, okay, thanks. I'll let my team of editors know.
The team,
I'll let my team know. So on the next printing, we'll fix it. Nobody's going to embarrass you to death. It's people, they become worried. And what I just said, about 2 minutes ago was make a decision as an entrepreneur, author, coach, speaker, whatever. Just choose that you want to be judged on the information that you share and not the imperfect way in which you share it. I've told so many of my clients that, and they're like, wow, that really works. Because one of the ladies I work with, she said, I've got a voice like Minnie Mouse. I said, well, so does that boxer. I can't remember the boxer's name, but he's got a voice like Minnie Mouse. Not everybody has a big booming voice. By the way, you are so smart at what you do. You understand franchising. You're very, very good. You help people, blah, blah, blah. Rest on that and not what you perceive to be an imperfection, which is your squeaky voice. Believe me, people will forget that when you help them.
When you're working with people, and how do you help people get clear? If they think, well, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, like the next shiny object is always like such a big deal.
It is probably not on day one, but somewhere around the first month or two of a coaching client, they'll bring something up. Hey, this would be a good idea. I said, nope. You don't have my permission. It's your business if you want to do it. But let me tell you why you don't want to do that. Another way I'll say it, depending on where we are in our relationship, is I'll say, well, that's one way to think about it. Do you mind if I share another? A little spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. I said, you can get this done and maybe this done, but you can't do these other 4 things and not do them well and or on time. But if you can do this right now, and for 60 days, we get your podcast launched, we get your videos launched, we create a nice little brand for you on social media, and then we'll come and revisit the book, because that's going to be like really intense 60, 90 days if you kind of follow what I say. So you do have to manage your time. One of the women I coach said, she gave me a very big compliment. And then at the very end, it was a little teaser, but she said, smart marketing is anything. And Jim's also like the father who keeps me in line. I'm not that much older than her, but I have no problem being a little stern, because I think that's what you're paying me for, right? Some of my clients call it Jim's tough love. Like, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think, because I have been through it all. I mean, I started broke in debt, and I had real money issues. I had self-esteem issues. I kind of worked through all of that. So nobody can hide from me.
So people listening, what tools can they use that you're teaching your coaching clients? Is it time management? Is it what kind of things can they use now to get clarity or to not go after that next shiny object?
First of all, what's more important than almost the what is the who. The who are you trying to attract, right? So I'm working with a CPA right now, and he said, there's a lot of people that can't afford me. And then there's people who think they know it all. I said, well, then all we have to do is find the sweet spot and we're going to market to them. Right. If somebody's got multi shops and they've got, 12 CPAs, they're not thinking they need your help to market their business. But the guy who's like barely doing 60 grand a year and is paying his college loans and everything, he would love to learn from somebody like you. So you have to figure out the who, because you're not meant to attract everybody. I tend to work with clients, in the six figure to maybe, $500,000 range, and I help get them up there faster and then move on. I have worked with clients in the seven figures, but the sweet spot for me is helping people that are kind of getting started. Maybe they're pre six figures and they can't get over that hump. Because one of the things that I learned, and I don't know if Lauren, if you've experienced this, the skill set that gets you to your first 100,000 is not the same one that's going to get you to 250. And it's not the same one that's going to get you to 500 or 750 if that's where you want to go. Those are all different. And so you don't know that. And since you haven't been there, you don't know what's needed. That's why working with a coach is so imperative.
So what's the hardest challenge you've overcome and how did you do it?
Well, in business, the hardest challenge was becoming a speaker. I had a lifelong major fear. I almost didn't graduate high school because I wouldn't stand up in English or history class and read from a book in front of everybody. So I'd make myself sick that day. But when I became an author, people wanted me to start speaking. And I'm like, thank you for the offer. I'm actually traveling that week, blah, blah, blah. I'd lie my butt off because I didn't want to go speak in front of 100 people or whatever. I did everything. I did, Dale Carnegie course, so many things. I did hypnosis. I did everything to overcome that. Well, it turns out I'm a good speaker and people like to hear what I have to say. So I've actually grown to like it. But that was one of the things that held me back. And the flip side of that, so they're kind of actually the same, is putting on my own live events. One of the best things you can do as a marketer, but especially as a coach, is put on your own seminars. I put on 8 2.5-day seminars called Dream Business Academy, but it took me so long to get the courage to do that because it's a big deal. Renting that space, the hotel wants you to spend X number of dollars on food and drink. You usually have to guarantee a certain number of sleeping rooms. And to me, it's like, what if nobody comes? I'm on the hook for that. And then the other side, what if people do come? And I get up there and I say everything that I know in the first morning. What am I going to do for two more days? So that's the what if brain, right? But I did 8 sold out Dream Business Academy. So those were the 2 greatest fears that I was able to overcome in business.